It's morning day 27 on the Appalachian Trail. We are getting camp cleared up and everything back in the packs. I'm going to head off walking. It was very cold last night. It was in the tent, I think it got down to about 30 degrees. And it's only about 34 right now in the sun. So we are all bundled up and ready to get to walking. You can see my nose is red, and that's not from sunburn anymore. That's from being so cold. But hopefully going up this little mountain that we have to climb, we'll get our bodies warmed up, and then we can stop and have some breakfast or something warm to drink. See you down trail. Alright, this is our view from Wesser Bald Fire Tower, which is actually just a platform. And it was a hefty climb up here. Again, I got a little overheated and a little nauseous, but don't look at the railing, Mom. Check that out. I know, can you guys see the water down there? The town. It's crazy. Beautiful.
I honestly thought it was one of...
Alright. So this is the fire platform. And it's quite old. Here, I'll take you over here and show you. There's our packs way down there. And we got peeps, and we got people in hammocks. So it's on a Saturday, and a lot of day hikers. Beautiful, beautiful day. We're just huffing and puffing for all of the climbing that we've done today. All right. I have no idea which way's which. None whatsoever. Very cool.
I thought with the radio you'd be like a ridge runner.
Alright, we're coming down Wesser Bald. We have a huge descent, but I wanted to show you what we were walking on. One, we have about the size of 2 feet next to each other, footpath. And we have thorns and brush on that side. And thorns and brush on that side. And we're just walking on this little tiny ridge. We both need to use the bathroom. But I can't be anywhere when there's no place for me to get off trail. So we have less than a mile to the shelter, which will still make it a pretty early day for us, but we are walking. The downhill is just as hard as the uphill when it comes to like your ankles and your Achilles and knees. A lot of times I sidestep it, and then you get these beautiful little roots in the ground. Yeah, that you're trying to step around. But I don't know if you can see Eldon up there. So I don't know if I talked about our trail names recently, but Eldon is Reptile, because he's hates the cold, loves the heat, wants to sit there and bask in the sun. And mine went from Turtle to Mosey. So everyone seems to love Mosey. And so far, I haven't heard anyone else say their name was Mosey. I've heard 2 other turtles on trail. So I have adopted the Mosey trail name. And everyone's like, I'll be seeing you on trail, Mosey, because I'm Mosey too. So it is perfect for us. Oh, it gets a little bit wider, but I don't know. Can you see all the thorns and just the down trees and such? It makes it very hard to get off trail to go use the bathroom. So you're having to hold it until you can get to a place that has a big tree, or you can get off the trail a little ways. Not the most convenient thing for a female, but we did have a couple of females that had their little female funnels that they used. And lead the way, reptile. But yeah, we had a couple of females that we've talked to that have used the funnel so they can stand and go to the bathroom. But I've gotten pretty good, at least getting off the trail and squatting. But it's hard to do that when that's the outside of the trail. Also, we've been in North Carolina for, I don't know, over 40 miles. And there have probably been 10 down trees that we've had to climb over. Not necessarily little ones. There's been probably 3 of the 10 that were small in diameter. You could just step over. They were pretty much laying on the ground. But, I mean, just today we had to climb over 2 of them. And for someone that has little legs, that is hard. We haven't seen a ridge runner in North Carolina yet. And we haven't seen any trail ambassadors either. In Georgia, I know because it's the start of the season and Georgia is very popular. But we saw Jill, the ridge runner, and then we had 2 trail ambassadors on trail that were reporting back to the Conservancy with updates and, trail conditions and things like that. But no bear activity for us, just some mice activity when you're near the shelters. And it turned out to be a pretty beautiful day after the bitter cold last night and this morning. It was about probably 10-ish, 10:30 when we decided to shed all of our layers and just hike in our normal day gear. I've seen a lot of people hiking in different pants, and my pants surprisingly have gotten too big, along with my underwear, believe it or not. I feel like I can pull both of them up past my rib cage, which is great that I'm losing some weight, but also not great to have your clothes fit properly when you're trying to prevent chafing. So when we get to the NOC, to the knock, tomorrow, we may look and see what kind of clothing the outfitter has, if there's anything that is within a budget that I'm willing to spend. If not, I will have my mommy send me out another pair of pants when we get Elton's sleeping bag replacement. Sea to Summit, I emailed them about his zipper breaking, and even though, they said it was due to the force on the zipper, that's why it broke, they were still very kind enough to send us a replacement. But not knowing where we were going to be out on trail, I asked them to send it to home and then have my mom send it out to us with a care package. But we still have a little ways to the shelter, and it's supposed to be also very cold tonight. I think a guy at one of the trail intersections said it was supposed to be like 34 tonight. So 34, 35-ish, something like that. And it doesn't seem to matter. As soon as the sun goes down, the wind picks up. So I'm hoping for a less windy night, because we both probably got 3 to 4 hours of sleep last night. And we were in the tent by 7 and did not get out of the tent until 7 this morning because it started to rain and get real windy. So we couldn't hang out on the side of the tent. And the wind stayed all night long. Alright, Reptile's leaving me. But like I said, just moseying down. It's going to be an early day. Maybe we can relax and I can stretch again. Because stretching yesterday, doing some stretches, some different yoga moves, and just relaxing flat on the ground on my back. I was able to pump my back in a couple different places and also stretch out my hips a little bit. So that's always great. And when you get to camp at 5:30 or 6 and everybody's steps. so many steps and so many routes. But when you get to camp at 5 or 6 and everyone has taken the better campsites, you know, first come, first serve, and then you're on a campsite that's rolling downhill or it's full of roots and rocks, it's hard to just sit there and relax. But, and to, you know, stretch and take care of your body. But, all right. I think the hubs is getting tired of waiting on me, so I'm going to put you away and continue our descent down into our shelter. And I think our water source is before the shelter, so we'll be getting water before we head into the shelter area. All right, talk to y'all later. It's the end of day 27. We are at the Wesser Bald shelter. We have a little over 6 miles in the morning to get to the NOC. Today was a little challenging, but still pretty leisurely day. We did about 5.6 miles, something like that. We climbed up to Wesser Bald, which was a decent climb, and had absolutely beautiful views on top of the fire tower. So that was really enjoyable once I could catch my breath and get to the top. Let's see. Blessing of the day. What do you think the blessing of the day is? The views?
Sure.
Yeah, the views were decent. They were really gorgeous, and you could see, I mean, forever on top of the fire tower. The challenge of the day for me was probably the morning weather and getting no sleep. So overnight, I've already talked about this, but the wind was howling, and I don't think either one of us got probably more than 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Tonight's not going to be much better. We have, what's the temperature supposed to be? 32, 34, something like that. So still very, very cold. And, but we are at a shelter tonight, camping in the tent with about, 8 other people. So, it's a little after 8 o'clock, so we're not getting in the tent too early tonight, having other people to talk to, and it didn't rain, so it actually turned out to be a really pretty sunny day. It was just extremely cold and extremely windy overnight. Let's see. I guess that's about it. We are getting off trail tomorrow, so we can have kind of a leisurely paced day, but there's a lot of planning and research that we're going to have to do before we get into the Smokies. So, have a good night, y'all.